So welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a long time since we've put a video up because there's been lots of things going on, and quite frankly I just haven't had time. So what I'm doing today is putting together a very basic video on how to fit a larger and much cheaper intercooler to the Astra GTC. As you probably are aware, this is not a VXR, so ignore the badges. At the moment, obviously, we are in the process of getting the car ready for its larger turbo, and part of that process, obviously, is putting a larger intercooler in. Now, this is the 2-litre diesel model, and obviously those who have watched the channel for a while will know that, we're putting a bigger turbo in. So the larger intercooler is a must. Now, the standard intercooler on this particular engine is actually a really good piece of kit. It gets the engine temperatures, inlet temperatures down really, really well. Normally on a sort of 20-degree day, you're looking at inlet temperatures of a sort of between 30 to 40 degrees, which is quite impressive, really. Unfortunately, like most intercoolers though, it's designed with a budget in mind, so it's got plastic end tanks and rubber seals that seal the alloy center, the alloy core to the outside bit. So when you start to find that your intercooler is getting a little bit older, then it can be prone to failing like anything. The other issue obviously is little tiny rubber seals don't like resisting higher boost pressures. So, at some point, if you're gonna hybrid, then it's probably a good idea to get a bigger intercooler. The ones that are available at the moment are obviously the very big, expensive branded ones, which come with all the nice hoses and everything else. And, if you're willing to sort of throw £500, £600, £700 at something, then that's maybe the way for you. Or if you don't have the necessary skills to make something that's reasonably custom, then again, that's maybe the way for you to go. Where we are at the moment, we've got, as you can see, a Durenza intercooler. Now, this intercooler was purchased from eBay for £179. It's actually really good quality, and one of the things I particularly like about it is the end tanks. So the end tanks actually swing round and allow the flow into the intercooler to be spread across the whole intercooler core. That's kind of like their unique selling point, but it's still quite a large intercooler at a reasonable price. Now, the good thing that I found with this one is that it fits really well on the Astra front end. So as you can see, we've removed the air conditioning radiator, which, you probably, half of you haven't even got intercooling haven't got aircon that's working. Some of you may have. If you wish to retain the standard AC unit, then you may have to have a little bit more work ahead of you, but certainly for me, I've removed the AC because of the larger turbo, so that's not a problem for me. So what I've done is I've removed the radiator pack, obviously removed the standard intercooler and thrown it away, and this intercooler is sat, because it's got the pipes coming out of here, it points really just around the edge of the standard radiator, as you can see, and right into the area that you need it to go into, which is great. Now, I've trimmed the crash bar, as you can see. Not the greatest of jobs, but quite frankly, I'm not too concerned with that. Some of you will be thinking, well, you might have lost a bit of structural integrity, and you'd be right. But what I'm planning on doing is actually putting a tube in here, in that section there, and welding it in so that I retain some strength in the front end of the car. The crash bar really is not hugely important, but obviously, it's nice to keep it, so I've done the best I can. Now, how have I mounted the intercooler? Well, that's actually quite easy. So what I've done is I've actually fitted I don't know if you can actually see it all that well, underneath onto the top of the actual radiator mounts. I've put a little metal plate which runs all the way along the underneath. I've literally just screwed a couple of bolts into there, and then basically I've sat the intercooler on top of that. Yes, I have painted a little bit of hammerite on there to make sure that it doesn't rust because it was made out of steel, but it sits there quite nicely. Made a little bracket at the top, so you can see there it holds it to the crash bar on that side. Another little bracket there holds it to the crash bar on that side. All of these sorts of things are easily doable for the home sort of DIYer, as long as you've got a few tools and a hacksaw and a little few bits of metal and some nuts and bolts. You can do that yourself. Now, the standard intercooler obviously has the plastic sort of U-shaped pipes that normally sit around here, and obviously they're removed. So my turbo on this is obviously not the standard unit, so this will be slightly different. So what you're going to need, because those pipes poke in that direction there, you may need a silicone step up. This pipe here is 63 millimeter and the standard pipe is 51. So you're going to need a 63 to 51 step up for that intercooler to fit that side. You're probably wondering what that is. For some strange reason, this intercooler comes with a little sort of pre-drilled hole in it. So I've literally just got an old map sensor that I had sitting around in the bottom of my toolbox, just popped it in there and it fits perfectly to fill that hole, if that's what you're wondering. Okay, so as you can see over the other side there, we've got the intercooler pointing inwards, and then obviously we need to bring it up onto the top of the engine. Now, the standard intercooler pipe on the Astra is just there. It's all made out of plastic. You can't use that. You're going to have to chuck that in the bin, but that's not such a huge problem. So what you're going to do to replace that is really, really simple and very easily available. So this pipe that I'm replacing it with is just a stopgap, because obviously, because I've got a larger turbo, I'm going to need a larger set of pipes. But for now, I just need to get to the dyno, so I'm going to use some standard piping and a few other bits and pieces. So this plastic section here is basically the 2-litre Insignia plastic section, and it comes down to there, and then you've got the standard Insignia intercooler hose. So you can get these on eBay for sort of 10 quid. These pipes, I bought this one brand new, £26. And then right at the very end, to make it go into the intercooler that I've purchased, you need a step down. So this step down on the end here is 63 millimeters into 51 millimeters. And then you just need a joiner to join the two together, just a metal intercooler joiner, but make sure you get a suede one because you don't want it popping off. Just a 150 millimeters long it is, and again, that's easily available on eBay for about £12 delivered. And then obviously you've got your Jubilee clips and stuff. You're probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, are those Jubilee clips going to hold? Yes, they're actually quite snug and quite strong, and it will hold for the amount of time that I need it for. And then obviously all you got to do is then literally just fit that pipe there on that end into the intercooler, and then the other end at the top there goes into the standard inlet manifold, and then you're ready to rock and roll. I just wanted to add on the end of the video, before anybody goes dashing off and makes a mistake, this hose here is a 45-degree angle. So you're looking for a 45-degree step down hose, which steps down from 63 to 51 millimeters. Okay, just so that everybody's aware of that.